Google's research teams absolutely crushed it this week and unveiled a slew of new tools that will basically outline the future of AI filmmaking. And Runway basically killed the script. Let's get into our AI film news of the week. The first tool that I want to talk about this week is called GM Talker. Now, this one comes from Beihang University, and it really is interesting because this is some of the first technology that actually allows you to go in and change the actual emotion of your subject. So inside of their white paper, they basically outline the process of changing someone's emotions inside of the footage. So you can go in and change them to angry, disgusted, fearful. But another really interesting advancement here is you actually have the ability to go in and dial in certain emotions. So for example, you could have someone be level 1 scared, level 2 scared, level 3 scared, and so on and so forth. And it's actually really interesting because this mirrors on-set direction in some ways. Whenever an actor does a take, sometimes you want to say, can you dial back the fear by like 10%, or can you increase the sadness by 20%? Well, it seems like we may actually have a slider in the future that allows you to do just that. Now, you don't have the ability to get into the code and mess around with this tool just yet, but I would anticipate that a tool like this would be available to the public very soon. A research team at Google also unveiled a brand new AI video model called WALT, and the results are really interesting. In fact, some of them are more realistic than results you may get from Runway or Pika. Let's take a look at a few of the results. So they have text to video, they also have image to video, and a bonus model that we'll talk about in just a second. So the first one I want to show you is text to video. We have a few different clips that basically were generated using the WALT model, and we use Topaz Video to upscale and interpolate because WALT unfortunately only does 8 frames per second at about 500p right now, which is not very great whenever you're looking at cinematic realism. So we have this video of an astronaut riding a horse, looks pretty good. Some bees flying around, this dog that's hopefully swimming, and this polar bear. So for this being an early stage video model, I did think it was pretty darn interesting. Now, it also really does well with visual effects. So for example, we have this fire-breathing dragon, and the results look pretty darn good. We have this Megatron figure walking through the forest, and we also have this ship that slowly comes towards the camera. There's great rotation, looks pretty darn good. Now, I want to show you one feature that this video generator has that other models haven't been able to replicate very realistically up to this point, and that's the ability to rotate around a subject. So here are a few examples from the team that worked on WALT. We have this bird that apparently is eating some macarons for some reason. We have this rotating shot of these grapes, this ice cream shot, and this teapot. So you'll notice that in these rotating videos, it does look pretty darn realistic in terms of the movement. Now, there's a lot to be said about resolution that I'm sure will be addressed pretty soon whenever this model hopefully goes live. But generally speaking, it does seem like this model could be very competitive, especially as Google is getting more and more aggressive when it comes to unveiling AI tools. Now, you may be wondering, how does this compete with other tools like Runway? Well, I'm way ahead of you. I did a quick comparison. So the shot is basically ice cream with chocolate sauce with studio lighting. Here is the shot from WALT. Looks pretty darn good. You can see there's kind of that ooze of the chocolate. And then you have this shot from Runway. Now, the shot from Runway, I'd say the chocolate looks a little bit more like hot chocolate instead of chocolate sauce, but it still looks like a very delicious dessert. And while we're talking about Runway, I should also note that they came out with some brand new audio features that should be available by the time you're watching this video. If not, they will be available very soon. But let's take a look at these brand new tools. You can find the audio features by going to the Runway homepage and then going to Generate Audio. So you'll see there's 5 new tools inside of here. You have text-to-speech, clean audio, remove silence, create a transcript, and then create subtitles. I'll show you how to use each one. So the first one I want to show you is text-to-speech. We can just click on text-to-speech, and we can just paste in the text that we want it to say. Now, you have the ability to click on the voices here and listen to the ones that you want to hear. I thought it was very interesting because I started clicking around here and some of the voices sounded very familiar, like this one.
I'm a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll.
That's actually the voice that we used to create our Wes Anderson parody trailers. And so what I realized is Runway is more than likely running Elevenlabs to generate the audio portion of this text-to-speech model, which is really helpful and interesting to know because Elevenlabs is awesome. And so having the ability to access Elevenlabs directly inside of Runway is very helpful. So to use this tool, all you have to do is go over here to Generate, and it will generate the audio. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to this.
Hello, this is a test of Runway's new audio generation tool. I really hope this tool is easy to use.
And it was pretty darn easy to use. Now, I should note you don't have the ability to go in and adjust some of the other settings. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm inside Elevenlabs right now, and I have selected the voice that is basically the same as the voice inside of Runway. In Elevenlabs, it's called Adam. Over on Runway, it's called Benjamin. But basically, in Elevenlabs, you have the ability to go in and adjust certain settings like the stability and similarity and the style exaggeration, all of those fun little sliders that can add just a little bit of flair to the overall presentation and the way in which your actor delivers their line. And then you can go in and generate. So let's play back this audio clip in Elevenlabs.
Hello, this is a test of Elevenlabs' new audio generation tool. I really hope this tool is easy to use.
And yeah, this tool is easy to use as well. So while I definitely would recommend using Elevenlabs directly if you're working on a professional project, having the ability to generate a voice directly inside of Runway has really big implications, especially as the AI tools develop. Pretty soon, I imagine you'll be able to prompt a video inside of Runway directly and actually have your actor speak with a voice, with lip syncing, and with the art direction directly inside of Runway. So in general, it feels like they're trying to become this all-purpose video creation tool using artificial intelligence, which is really cool. They also have a clean audio feature that basically allows you to upload a video and then clean up the audio. I'm just going to go ahead and select this video that I have here. Let me go ahead and play back the raw video so you can hear the quality. It was a huge week for AI video and audio. We're out here in Barcelona. So you get the idea. The audio is really, really bad for this video. Well, all we have to do now is click the clean audio button and let's listen to our final result. It was a huge week for AI video and audio. So you may be wondering, how does this compare to other audio cleaning tools like the Adobe Audio Enhancer? Well, I ran a quick test for you and let's listen to the results. So again, here is our raw video. It was a huge week for AI video and audio. Okay, sounds like crap. And now let's listen to the Runway version of this video. It was a huge week for AI video and audio. That's pretty dang impressive. And then finally, we can listen to the audio from Adobe to compare the result. It was a huge week for AI video and audio. Okay, so as you can see, there's pros and cons to using both. I think the Adobe Enhance tool really adds a level of warmth that makes it sound a little bit better. But the Runway tool, especially for it being directly inside of Runway, and if you're creating a video editing pipeline, it's pretty powerful to be able to just clean up the audio and just keep editing directly inside of your browser. And I should also note that whenever you upload a video to Runway, it actually will render out and upload a brand new video that has the cleaned up audio. So you don't have to upload the video and then extract the audio and put it back on the footage and re-export like you normally do whenever you use a tool like Adobe's Enhance tool. So I really like this Runway tool, and I think it's very powerful, especially if you don't have too much background noise inside of your audio. The next tool I want to talk about is the Transcript tool. It's very easy to use. All you have to do is upload your transcript asset, select the language, and then click Generate. You will be given a transcript that looks like this, and you have the ability to edit your SRT file, which is the file format that closed captioning uses. And you can go in here and edit it further. So we can click Edit Transcript. And I can see that in this transcript here, I have a mistake at the end. It says, "This is your AI film news of the," and it says nothing. So we'll say week. and we'll go ahead and update that transcript. And now we have the SRT file that you can just download and upload to whatever video host requires the transcript. They also have the ability to create subtitles directly in your footage. Just go to the subtitles button. You can select your video asset or upload it and select your language, and then you just go ahead and hit generate and it will generate subtitles. The cool thing is it pops up this video editor whenever you're done, and you can go in and adjust the subtitles as it makes sense. It was a huge week for AI video and audio. And so your subtitles will be automatically applied directly in their online video editor, which is really cool. And so all you have to do is go in here and adjust any issues that may arise. Most of the transcripts are fantastic, but in this instance, it also messed up the end here where it says, this is your AI film news of the week. So we just added in week, and now we're good to go. We can export that footage with the subtitles baked in. They also have a tool that removes silence from the dead parts of your video. So this is obviously very helpful if you are working on a podcast or need a social cut down where you really don't want to have a lot of dead time. You have the ability to go in here and adjust the padding and preview and change the threshold and all of the settings that you would generally want for this tool. And then you just hit the remove silence button and it will remove the dead spot. I love seeing Runway unveil brand new features like this because, again, they're really trying to become the one-stop shop for generating AI videos. I think it's very helpful to have all of these tools in one place rather than having to piecemeal all of these tools from all around the industry. So even if something isn't 100% as good as another tool out there, just having the convenience to create that exact asset directly inside of Runway is a huge advantage. And Runway, I can't wait to see all of the incredible new tools that you release in the coming months. This last week, there were also quite a few rumors saying that ChatGPT 4.5 was here, and it turns out it was all a hoax. There's a lot of back and forth OpenAI news lately. Really, there's nothing that you need to know here other than the fact that ChatGPT 4.5 will more than likely be available fairly soon. I think it's safe to say with Google's new Gemini Ultra right around the corner, I would not be surprised if OpenAI also has a new announcement that tries to basically make it hyper-competitive with Gemini. Stability AI also announced a brand new text to 3D asset model that is very interesting. So the code is actually already available and you are free to play around with it as long as you have a PC with an NVIDIA graphics card. But generally speaking, this innovation is really interesting because animators will soon be able to simply upload an image and get a 3D asset that is screen ready. I wouldn't say that we are exactly at that point where you could take an asset generated by AI and put it into an animated movie just yet, but we're pretty darn close. I'd say we're in the PlayStation 2 era right now, but pretty soon, I'd say within the next 12 months, 3D assets from artificial intelligence will be silver screen ready. So this is going to be a very powerful shift in the world of 3D animation.
We interrupt this news segment to give you a special surprise.
Oh, what could it be?
YouTube sent a delivery for your birthday. Well, it came right in time. Caleb's birthday is tomorrow for those who didn't know. But we got this special present in the mail, and I would like for you to open it.
Well, sounds great. Let's open it up.
Maybe take Chester. Chester says hello.
Let's take a look. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. We seriously could not have done this without you. 100,000 subscribers was definitely a goal that we had for a long time. But you know what? It's not just about subscribers. We are all about helping people on their artistic journey. And we're just so grateful for everyone who is a part of the Curious Refuge community. So me, Shelby, and
Chester, which is the mascot of this channel, if you didn't know, and now you know.
We'd all just like to say thank you so much. And I guess let's just unceremoniously get back to the rest of the film news.
All right. Ciao.
Midjourney also announced the alpha version of their image generation tool that allows you to create images directly on Midjourney's website, so you don't have to use Discord. Now, this tool is not available to most users. You actually have to have generated over 10,000 images to have access, so needless to say, most people aren't able to use it just yet, but it really does showcase that Midjourney's future will be entirely on their website and not this back and forth experience with Discord. Now, they have announced a few new features like a weirdness slider, but using the new version of Midjourney, you won't have the ability to do in-painting just yet, which might be a frustrating experience. And from the initial test, it doesn't look like there's the repeater prompts either, so you always by hand kind of have to click to generate more image assets, which isn't the end of the world, but it does make it slightly less enticing, especially if you're working on a large project that requires a lot of images to be generated, and then you to go in and curate the right ones for your specific project. And that transitions us to talking about Midjourney 6. Now, Midjourney 6 will more than likely be available in both Discord and the online experience, but it is going to have some very notable updates. Number one, obviously, will be the quality. Each time Midjourney does a major update, the quality just gets insanely good. And the new update will have much more natural language, so you don't have to go in and trick Midjourney into giving you great results. So you don't have to say things like 4K or 8K to get a good result. You can just be more natural in the way in which you communicate with it. So in many ways, you can focus on being an art director and not specifically a prompt engineer that has to go in and fine-tune the prompts with just like weird codes and things like that to get exactly what you're looking for. Midjourney 6 will hopefully be out around the new year, so we'll let you know whenever it drops. Meta also announced new audio generation models over on the website. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, most of them are pretty bad and there's just better tools to use on the market. But there is one tool that I really want to feature. So all you have to do is go to the link below this video and go to sound effects. Now, this is basically allowing you to type in a prompt and create a brand new sound effect that has never existed. It's really impressive. So for our instance here, I'll say a dog barking in an empty room and we will generate the sound effect. Let's play back number 2. Now, I should note that we are very much in the early days of prompting sound effects, but that is a dog barking, and that was created completely from scratch. So very soon, you'll have the ability to type in a prompt and essentially have a Foley artist at your disposal. It's really interesting, and I imagine that when this technology gets paired with contextual awareness, where AI can actually watch your scene, there will be a future where AI will generate the sound effects automatically for your video. And that's gonna have huge implications for the future of prompt to entertainment. Google also unveiled a brand new music tool using artificial intelligence that allows you to type in a prompt and get a music track in return. It's one of the best AI music tools that I've come across. Let me show you how to use it. So basically, all you have to do is type in a prompt. There are some settings you can go in and adjust. So we have the ability to change the track length. We can say whether we want this track to be looping or not. And you do have the ability to type in a seed number or lock in a certain seed as well. I won't mess around with any of those tools just yet, and I will click Generate to create an uplifting and hopeful orchestral score. Okay, so let's listen to our first result from Google. Okay, sounds like a B-movie version of Lord of the Rings, but not too bad. And let's listen to track number 2. Okay, so the result is pretty good, but whenever we compare that to a similar result, whenever we type in uplifting and hopeful in a stock library, this is the audio that we get. So you can see that the quality is not quite as good as stock libraries at this point, but pretty soon AI will be just as good as stock libraries. So I want to do a quick little game with you. I'm gonna play 2 tracks and I want you to tell me which one was created by Google Music Effects and which one is from a stock music library. So I prompted in a lo-fi beat that is upbeat and optimistic. So let's go ahead and cue the vector wave stock footage and listen to clip number 1. And now clip number 2. If you think you know which one was real and which one was generated by AI, let us know in the comments below. And speaking of music, this last week we had Tim from Theoretically Media over on our podcast to talk about the future of AI for music generation, filmmaking, and we also get into a little bit of the future of Hollywood. It was a fantastic conversation with one of the best AI tutorial creators in the world. I highly recommend checking it out. I'd also like to extend a huge congratulations to everyone who participated in our AI holiday competition. Let's get to the winners. In third place, we have Phantom Christmas by Misha Pinvisky. In second place, we have Mistletoes by Kurt Knight and Friends. And in first place, we have Dragged Holidays by Beto Pedreca, Rafael Arinelli, and Paula Fernandez. Everyone's films were absolutely fantastic, but the first place winner was just hands down one of the most impressive AI projects I have ever seen. We dropped a montage of our favorite films from this competition over on our channel yesterday. You'll find a link below this video. Now, I think this competition really was a turning point because it really seems like AI-generated films are creating a lot of emotional resonance now. I think we're really at the point where AI films can begin to rival live-action films. And in the future, it's going to be really interesting to see how AI and live-action footage play together to tell incredible stories. Many of the people who submitted films for the competition used Pika Labs, and it's a big week for Pika because they actually have begun unveiling Pika 1.0 to people who are on the waitlist. There are a ton of new features that we actually talked about last week, but one of the features that we want to highlight this week is really the ability to re-roll and re-prompt. You have the ability using Pika Labs to generate new results just by clicking the button, or you can go in and re-prompt and generate new results that way as well. So you can have multiple iterations of your video rendering at the exact same time. This is so much better than generating one video clip and then waiting and then generating another one. It's a lot easier to generate 5 or even 10 videos at a time and pick and choose the best one for your specific project. The folks at MoveAI have also been dropping a ton of new demos that feature their motion tracking tool. If you're not familiar with MoveAI, it's a tool that basically converts footage into motion tracking data that you can bring into 3D applications. So in many ways, this type of technology will replace motion tracking suits in the future. They shared a really interesting video of a person dancing, and they basically took the motion tracking data and put it onto an alien that was dancing. There's also another one of this creature created by blocks, and then at the end, it just falls apart. So MoveAI is really innovating in this space, and if you haven't played around with the tool, I highly recommend checking it out. A research team shared a new white paper last week that essentially takes really janky AI video and stabilizes it. So you can take AI footage that's been generated in a model like Animate Diff, and it will basically take all of those random movements and weird generations and stabilize the whole thing to be a much more stable result. Now, this has really big implications because one of the problems with AI can be the consistency. But if you're able to actually run your footage through a filter, kind of an AI filter that will stabilize everything, you essentially can have results that look much better. They uploaded the code to GitHub where you can actually play around with the tool. Basically, having the ability to upload AI footage that has issues with it and then just stabilize it is a really important milestone in AI video generation. Another research team this week came out with a white paper that is really mind-blowing. Basically, they took Gaussian splats of people and then composited that with motion-tracked animation to where you basically can have a semi-photorealistic animated version of a person just from a single scan. This is the technology that SAG was worried about when we're talking about background actors being replaced, because essentially you can take a scan of somebody, throw in some animation data, and now they can be walking around your scene and you can change their performance and do whatever you want. Now, I don't think that this specific technology will be ready for the primary subject inside of your film, but especially for background actors and people that are just scattered throughout the scene, it seems like the tech is basically here. Now, this code is not available just yet, but I imagine it will be available very soon. Google also worked in collaboration with a few other people to announce Diffusion Light. that basically creates a reflection map chrome ball just from your uploaded reference footage. Now, that may not sound important, but it actually has huge implications, because whenever a compositor is trying to composite a 3D element into a scene, they almost always need a reflection map, which is basically an image that shows the way in which the light should hit the actual subject. But Google created this tool that allows you to create that reflection map automatically by interpreting the footage in your scene. So whenever you are ready to composite your 3D elements, you basically can just drag and drop the AI tool onto those elements and it composites them into the scene. This has really big implications for the future of compositing because the process will more than likely become much easier. I should note that the same people that came out with this white paper also came out with diffusion face relighting earlier this year that basically allows you to relight a scene. Now, there are tools like this inside of programs like DaVinci Resolve, but this specific technology is much more impressive, and basically it uses AI to completely change the lighting of your scene, and I can't wait to actually have this technology built into some of our video editing tools in a very professional way, because it's going to make it a lot more easy to direct your lighting and just change the overall environment of your final scene. Some researchers at Google also unveiled a new technology that allows you to take Gaussian splats and basically explore them in real time without any latency. It's very interesting. So if you go to the white paper, you'll find a link below this video. There's a button that says demos, and you can basically select some of the various demos here. I'll just select this Berlin one, and we will say we have a laptop with a strong GPU, and you click enable to enable the mouse navigation. Now, it doesn't take very much time at all, and you just navigate with your keyboard and you can look around. And so we can just look around this apartment, and really it's as if we're there. So this has two big implications for the future of storytelling. Now, number one will be the fact that basically we're going to get a photorealistic version of Google Earth where most of the world will likely be scanned very soon. So you can literally explore and walk around in a world, probably in virtual reality, and feel like you are actually there, which is really interesting. The other implication is, of course, for filmmaking, where you'll be able to take Gaussian splats and scan in a scene, and then take that technology and composite in your actor. So again, Gaussian splats are going to continue to be a very helpful resource for storytellers. And of course, it wouldn't be an AI week without talking about Tesla in some capacity. They came out with a video of a realistic humanoid robot called Optimus Gen 2. It basically has the ability to do real foot articulation, so it actually looks like it's walking. It can do squats like a human, and it has sensors in its fingers where it can sense, kind of pass things from hand to hand. And of course, at the end, it has the ability to dance. And the dancing is, of course, arguably better than my dancing, but that's really not saying a lot. And now that brings us to our AI films of the week. So the first film that I want to shout out is actually from our AI holiday film competition. It's called KK Holiday, and it is basically a Christmas stoner comedy that has really good storytelling. I love the voice in it, and the prompting is absolutely hilarious, and there's a really good twist at the end. It kind of just helps you to reflect on how ridiculous the holiday season is. It's really fun. The next film that I want to highlight is Land of the Lost by Machine Mythos, which was created using Pika 1.0. It has beautiful curation. Some of the shots really do look like they were taken directly from a blockbuster film. The movement is really nice. There's actually some really good VFX simulation in some of the shots. And of course, the water shots look really good as well. So I think it's a really good film concept, and Mythos really knocked it out of the park. I also want to point out two advertisements that went live this week that use artificial intelligence. The first is this video from KFC Philippines, which apparently is big enough to need its own social media account. But basically, they created an AI film called Space Cats, and the Space Cats, of course, love to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, this project could probably do a little bit more in terms of execution, but it really does just highlight the fact that big brands are starting to use AI in their video marketing. So if you have AI skills, you will more than likely have plenty of opportunities as we move into the new year. There's also this project for OnePlus USA that used artificial intelligence to generate the imagery as well. So again, we're on the cusp of AI adoption in advertising. Q1 of 2024 will be a big shift where most advertising agencies will be scaling up their AI artistry workforce. So I highly recommend getting some skills in AI if you are looking for a creative job. And finally, our student project of the week comes from Antonio Carlos Moraes, who put together a project called Santa's Break. It basically is a film where Santa takes a break from the North Pole and goes down to Brazil. It's very funny, and there's a funny twist at the end. And I should note that this was also Santa's favorite from our AI holiday competitions. You did a fantastic job on this project, Antonio. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of AI Film News. Now, you can get AI Film News delivered directly to your inbox with a bullet point list of all of the big updates by visiting the link below this video. Just go over to Curious Refuge and you can sign up with your email address. But of course, you can always subscribe here to get your weekly dose of AI Film News. Thank you so much for watching. Have a magical holiday season. We'll see you in the new year.